Does charm pricing work in real estate? Hey guys, this is Ryan Dyal with the real estate firm. I'm answering your question, does charm pricing still work in real estate? Is it an old tactic that no longer has its use? Is it only good for shampoo at Walmart? I'm going to get into that right now. So what is charm pricing?
What the hell is he talking about?
It is a psychology-based pricing method that is based on the phenomena known as left digit bias. So you may be thinking, that's so fancy.
Are you stupid?
Or total BS. But if you think about it, it makes a lot of sense that since there's so much money that is in retail sales or the selling of products worldwide, that eventually billionaires were going to put some science to it to make a little bit more money.
It's science.
Large amounts of research has found that buyers perceive a smaller digit on the left to be more pleasant than a higher initial digit. So research is suggesting that the subconscious mind actually becomes less defensive with a smaller initial digit instead of a higher. So no matter how reasonable or logical you believe that you are, your subconscious mind is actually rounding numbers down instead of up. So if you see that price for $9.99, your brain is telling you that it's $9 instead of $10. And that is why your brain thinks it's a deal and becomes less defensive.
Clearance sale.
Oh, it's cheaper.
I bought a car.
So now the question comes, does charm pricing work in real estate?
It's about time.
Yes and no.
That don't make no sense.
Now, of course, charm pricing still works in real estate just like it does in all type of sales, because who you're trying to convince is a human and they fall to human nature.
It's only human natural.
We all round down inside of our minds. So if you price a property for $299,000, the mind automatically becomes less defensive and sees it as a 2 instead of a 3 and thinks, ooh, it's a deal. However, the majority of people these days are actually buying their houses online. So if they see the price, then the charm pricing works. But they may be using a search method which causes charm pricing to not work so well. Most online searches for homes are using a bracketed search. Now what that means is that they are not just seeing all homes. A lot of times people will put in something like 200 to 300,000, that bracketed search. They also, another buyer could do a search for 300,000 to 400,000. See how it's bracketed there. A person searching from 200,000 to 300,000 will be able to see the $299,000 charmed price home. But a person searching from 300,000 to 400,000 will likely miss that $299,000 home because it's outside of that bracketed search. But if the home is priced $300,000, both bracketed searches will show the $300,000 house. So it could potentially show up in twice the searches.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
This is a problem with price bracketing that we believe shows up in research. Now, I wasn't convinced to begin with that charm pricing wouldn't work in real estate until I did the research myself, because that's what I like to do. I don't like to just listen to opinions. I've got to see the data. So what I did is I did a search in my own market and in my own MLS. I did every sale from 2001 to now for all homes priced with the exact amount of $299,000 as list price and also original list price. The listing agents that sold their house for $300,000 on the dot were more likely to sell the house quicker and for a hair more money than the person that sold exactly $299,000. Now, I made sure that I calculated two different research models. One is $299,000 was the original list price, and I also did a search for $299,000 as the triggering list price. And what I mean by triggering is that the original list price is not where a house sells. It is the final list price that eventually triggers the offer. I looked at both of those numbers and I found that if you listed your house for exactly $299,000, to trigger the offer may take a little bit longer, probably due to those searches, and might even sell a little bit less. Now, why is it that it sold for less? Does that make any sense at all?
I have no idea.
No idea?
Actually, it makes perfect sense. It has already been known by the National Association of Realtors and most realtors that do their research that the faster you sell a house, the more money you typically get. Now, Ryan, why would it sell for less money, even if it's 1% less money if you price it at $299,000 compared to $300,000? Well, because there's a difference in days on market between $299,000 and $300,000, houses that stay on the market a little bit longer tend to take a little bit less in the end. You paid some more taxes, you paid some more mortgage, and you're not getting that first initial buyer in the first weekend. You're getting the one that's 3 months down the line. So there's a stigma on the house, and buyers that tend to buy houses been on the market longer are looking for a deal.
On second thought, lowball them.
There's multiple reasons why houses sell for less money over time on the market, but the NAR, the National Association of Realtors, they did a lot of studies on this and have found that homes that sell on the market longer take a little bit less money, and I believe that that's why this happens.
Okay.
So Ryan, if your research shows that charm pricing doesn't work in real estate because the MLS shows that you take less money and it takes more time to be able to sell it, then should we abandon it altogether? No. There are still applications that you can use charm pricing.
When?
If you're using charm pricing, when you put something on the IDX or the MLS and then it's going out to these bracketed search result type of companies, then you want to avoid charm pricing. Stay within your brackets. Price at $300, for example. Don't price at $299. If you're going to do print ads, if you're going to do Facebook ads, then you can use charm pricing because they're not looking it up by a bracketed method of searching. So there are still some ways that you can use charm pricing. If the end user is going to look at the price on a print, then it works. But if they're going to have to find the home and the price by using a search, then you want to avoid that tactic.
What's the bad news?
Charm pricing triggers the frugal and deal searching mind.
It's $14.95 on sale.
So if a person likes to see a deal and they see the $299, $999 house and they think, ooh, it's a deal. This house is on sale is what occurs in their subconscious mind and they trigger on it. The opposite occurs and can become a con. To someone that avoids deals or has a natural stigma towards homes that have been reduced in price, then it becomes a con.
What's wrong with it?
And what I mean, for example, if a person has a little bit higher standard of a home, then they may actually have in their mind the idea that a $299 home is being reduced and will actually create a stigma in their mind before they even see it.
What's wrong with it?
That the home is less than their standard and may actually avoid it altogether. And this is actually proven in research that the $299 price was actually thought to be an inferior product to the one that was priced at $300.
I don't want it.
So you might be asking, Ryan, do you use charm pricing? Actually, I do. Even though I see the research, I use charm pricing because some of the homes, and it really just depends on what home and what type of buyer. I think it's incredibly important in marketing to know who your buyer is going to be. If you have a home that you believe is going to be purchased by a buyer that is looking for a deal, maybe a fixer-upper or something like that, if you understand your buyer, then it is possible that they're not going to be doing those bracketed searches on Zillow and Trulia and Realtor.com as much. They're going to expand their search and they're going to be able to see your house, and the charm pricing is still going to work. Now, if I'm dealing with a higher end property, if I'm downtown Charleston, or if I'm looking at property that's in the 7 digits, I'm not going to use charm pricing because those type of buyers typically have a higher standard, and then the cons start to become an issue. So I use charm pricing depending on what type of property or what type of buyer I'm actually looking for. So I'm not hoping to settle this old debate in real estate, but I'm hoping I added a little bit of information as to why I find that I should use charm pricing in some instances and I really should avoid it in all the others.